So hello and welcome to the channel and welcome to another Le Mans Ultimate video. In today's video we're going to be looking at a heck of a lot of things going on at the Le Mans circuit. I've been spending a lot of time here in the Ferrari GTE, done a little bit of testing in the Porsche, a little bit in the Aston Martin, but every time I just come back to this Ferrari, me and this Ferrari just seem to get on well despite the number of accidents that I seem to be having here. Coming on board, just get a little bit unsighted here and just clip the back end on the barrier, and then I've got another oncoming vehicle. I did have a little chat with this guy afterwards and he just said he just didn't know where to go. Should have broke a little bit earlier and come the front side of me, but never mind, these things happen. Again here, just taking the win during this race. I just seem to watch a lot of accidents seem to happen in my rear view mirror during this race. And it was one of those things where the race just seemed to come to me. It was my first win here at Le Mans Ultimate, or here at Le Mans. We can see here again coming into this tricky braking section. And another car just on the inside just seems to wipe the floor with the rest of the circuit. This guy in the Ferrari just locks the brakes. And it's just like a bowling board, this takes out all three front-running drivers, and this allows me to take that win, and that was the last I saw of anyone through that race. So a really nice gift really. Coming into a very high-speed section, the Porsche up on its roof through this section. I don't know if this was the same guy in the next race, but you can see all three cars there. We've got the Aston, the Corvette, the Ferrari and the Porsche all fighting, or at least these front three fighting for position. And again, he just loses it under braking, which is something I found that corner really does struggle with the Porsche. It's not, I just seem to lift through here and the car just glides around a heavy braking area. I just end up losing it. One of the things about the force feedback in Le Mans Ultimate, I do feel it's very hard to find that edge of grip, especially from the rear end of the car. If you've lost the rear of the car, it's sometimes, unless you're looking at where you're going and you can see that you're losing rear grip, it's very hard to feel that through the wheel. That's one of the things I do find with Le Mans Ultimate.
That's a win.
You can see here,
understood. Pit stop requested.
Taking the win. So it is nice once in a while to pick up a win. And we see there, only coming from P2. But in this next race that we're going to be looking at, I'm going to be coming from P17 all the way to take a P3 position. And these are the steps that I go through when we come in and we're doing qualifying. You've got a 5-minute qualifying session, so you really need to be quick. I'm not sure if you can actually save a fixed setup with these small changes. So obviously we've not got much time, so I just change the things that I have to change. Fuel before we get out, and then I make these subtle changes whilst we're actually on the road. So just using traction control 8 and power cut 7 and the slip angle 8 I use, and then just the brake bias tend to change between 53 and 54. But I see a lot of guys running the lower end traction control settings and it just doesn't work for me, it really doesn't. You can see coming across the line there, we've got just 12 seconds before we wouldn't have been able to set a lap. And you can see here just coming into the end of the lap, and I just run over the track limits there, again there, and just that's the lap abolished. So as much as I were coming across the line to set about a 3:54.8, which would probably put me in second or third place, somewhere around there, I end up dropping all the way down to 17th place. And normally I just think from 17th place then I'll just focus on setting a fast lap. So coming in after the race you need to select tyres again, and I've put 7.5 laps worth of fuel in. You could probably put 6.8 litres in, 6.5 litres. I think I end up crossing the line here with a litre in, maybe a litre 0.3 left. It just depends how much you're on the throttle really, how you drive the car as to how that fuel's going to last you. But coming in, you can see these subtle changes I make down in the left hand side, just getting rid of all the fuel, add in a section, add the new soft tyres. So I've done all my pit stop strategy, despite you don't want to take a pit stop during a 20-minute race, you really don't. But if I am going to take a pit stop, it's probably because I've got damage, and I'll just use the session to try and set the fastest lap I can, get myself up the leaderboards. I think I'm somewhere around 50th at the moment in the leaderboards. Starting the race then, as we go, here we go. I'm going to be very early on. I was straight on the accelerator, knowing just how far the guys up front were probably going to get straight on the power as soon as I came that corner. Obviously we've got a lot going on around the circuit, there's cars everywhere, everyone's always so eager to make places in these first couple of corners, but if you can just stay out of any of these incidents, the places kind of start coming to you. So as we come through this first couple of stages, obviously there's a lot going on, keep your wits about you, obviously using this technique they all talk about called look ahead, just always looking in the distance, seeing what's going on around you, just take avoiding action where needed. The Ferrari there is taking out all the M Sport boards. So we've got a nice run through turn 1, always worth taking a time penalty through turn 1 and carrying as much speed as you can to try and get as much distance from any other cars as you can. So I always don't really care if I pick up a track limit penalty through that first corner, just try and carry as much speed as you can. The Ferrari there taking a little adventure all on his own. So coming into this first sort of chicane section, like I said, always just having that look ahead about you, seeing what's happening, getting tucked up underneath this Ferrari.
You're reeling, Thomas, in, the gaps now.
And the Porsche there just taking a big swing out, God knows where that car's going to end up. Just take a good wide berth. I think he's exited the game already. But so much time I think can be made as well. Changing gear early in the Ferrari. I was looking at some of my Coach Dave Delta lap time against another Ferrari driver. And down the back stretch after this tight right-hander, I lost 3/10 with holding on to the gears. Where he was shifting much earlier, something I definitely need to look at. Yeah, coming into here, I'm not sure if you've probably watched my earlier video with regards to braking and adjusting your pedals. I just don't seem to lock up like other drivers anymore. I'm really not suffering with that issue anymore at all. So again here, it's a case of picking your battles. I've got this Aston Martin alongside. He's definitely trying to cover off this inside, not wanting to let me down there at all. And he's all over the place, really not sure how to take this driver at all, Mattis. So I just give him plenty of space. Another Ferrari driver behind is losing the rears under braking. Always just look at that 50-yard board as well. I had another occasion where someone had clipped one of the barriers on the inside there that I was using for a brake marker, and I ended up running straight into the barriers. So just always think about brake markers that aren't going to be destroyed. Another section that I need to work on, try and carry a bit more speed through here. I seem to be losing a little bit of time. And something I have noticed through the replays is, like as we get closer to the vehicle, sometimes you get details popping in and out. Sometimes damage. At a distance the car looks alright, and then up close you can see the damage. So not wanting to risk it up the inside there with the Aston Martin, there is going to be a better option. I know I'm quicker than this guy, so just judge where is best to make your overtakes. Not sure about the Race Labs overlays. Probably this one on the left hand side is probably not worth keeping. I do wonder if I need a different pedal set with the amount of bouncing I seem to put through the pedal, or whether I need to work on my braking technique, or whether that's something within the pedal or something that I'm unconsciously doing. So a nice run through there, just getting as close as I can using the radar before pulling alongside. Corvette, I seen a guy the other night setting 351 during qualifying. Really did think he was cheating, but I ended up looking back at the leaderboards, and he is actually in first place with the 352. So just let the Corvette take his own line through there.
It looks like Thomas has gone off in turn 5. Green flag.
I do love
He's now leading.
the crew chief chat. Everyone sets up their names and stuff. I always think, looking down at the tyre graphic, as soon as you start getting below 90% wear on the tyres, you kind of know you can't really extract 100% from the lap. Really happy with my first sector as well. I think 36.6 is the fastest I've been through sector 1. Just really need to work on my final sector where I'm losing most of the lap time. Feel like I'm better under braking than most people with the way I've got my pedal set up. So I got a nice run here. Not sure if we're going to pick him off along this back section. Getting a nice toe.
Car left.
I'll go to the inside.
Hold your line.
Hopefully I'm faster through this
Hold your
section. But he was quite feisty here, so I'm not sure whether he's going to put up a battle.
Hold your line. Clear left.
Yeah, so I managed to slip
Next
through.
Rodriguez.
On your left.
Just think about doing the switchback, nearly gets it.
Still there.
Keep the inside line
Hold your
again.
line.
Just try and give him a
Clear
little
left.
bit of room. I think that was a fair battle for the position. It's like some corners, the trail braking seems to work really well, and then some corners I seem to be bouncing on the brake pedal, whether that's just me old school doing anti-lock braking. Really need to carry the speed a little bit wider through there, use more of the circuit. See the Aston Martin getting up on my gearbox just through that first section of the corner. Obviously carries a bit more speed in. The front left tyre just really getting crucified.
Gotta hold your position here.
So 3 more places to make up then. Remember, we've come from P17 already, up 11 places. As you can see, the guy ahead of him, he's also up quite a few places.
Just done 3:54.1 seconds.
We'll come across the line, see what kind of lap time he's putting in.
Revealing.
That time was a
gaps now.
3:58.
So he must have, I think he must have took a penalty through that lap to have not posted his lap time. I really have wanted to do a little bit more on Assetto Corsa Ace, Assetto Corsa Evo at the moment, but it just feels so different to Le Mans Ultimate, and every time I seem to play in it and come back to Le Mans, it feels like I'm just losing the feel of the game. So at the moment, while it's still in early access, until I get the VR headset, I think Assetto Corsa Evo is just going to sit waiting. I'm just having too much fun in Le Mans Ultimate. And I think once the VR headset is supposed to be very imminent arriving, I've already had an email from Pimax to say that it's in the country, it's just undergoing QC over the next week or two, and it should be delivered, but Unfortunately for me, I'll be having a shoulder operation tomorrow morning, which is going to definitely take me out of action for sim racing for possibly a week to 2 weeks. Just having some bone removed from the underside of my shoulder to hopefully give some of my muscles around my shoulder and tendons a little bit more room to work and feel less compressed. I'm just getting a lot of pain through my bicep and through the back of my shoulder, which has been ongoing for a number of years now, so
10 minutes left.
hopefully the surgery solves the issue.
Gap 2, Rodriguez.
Maybe I'll end up doing a little bit more flight simulator before I actually get back into sim racing. Just something a little bit gentler on the run up to getting back behind the wheel. But I really am so looking forward to getting the headset. The whole reason behind building this beautiful gaming PC, the many years that I've waited to actually do PC gaming at its finest. And I think once I first tried VR, there was really no other option. A friend of mine had pushed the boat out and bought a triple monitor setup, and I think we were both very much underwhelmed trying the triple monitor setup. Especially, I think I definitely was after trying the VR. I just didn't feel I was looking at the side monitors as much as I thought I would. That sense of immersion just really wasn't there for me. But I think there's just such a difference putting that VR headset on. You actually feel within the game you're playing. There's nothing that can describe it. There's no video that you can see on YouTube that gives you that sensation of what you actually feel when you put on a VR headset.
You're reeling. Rodriguez in.
I don't think anyone can do a good job of selling just how immersive it is. So the Porsche just ahead, just losing it under that section there. Definitely not worth trying to throw it up the inside. It's a very tricky section to overtake through here. It's just going to end up being an accident. So hopefully try and get a good exit off here. Looks like we've both got a very similar exit. I'd love to actually be able to squirt some water on the windscreen here and just get rid of some of these bugs. That would be a really nice touch. In fact, I still think I'm yet to actually try this game in the wet. You know, just to be able to see what the water features are actually like, how the car feels around the circuit. So nice run off that last corner, and he's took a really wide line there, maybe lifted it slightly, try and ease his penalty, but got a really nice run there. Go down the inside.
Still there.
So I really am wondering how I've managed to get to P3,
Clear left.
given the distance between the other drivers and the lap times that they're setting. 2 seconds a lap. Yeah, I really do find myself very hesitant on the power if I start dropping the traction control lower than what I've currently got at 878. I do sometimes find moving the brake balance to slightly lower through the rest of the circuit. Just these two chicanes really, I feel like the rear of the car is a little bit unstable. Very tentative on the exit. I know there's a lot of talk about project racing as well. I think all we can do is wait and see what project racing's, or I think it's just project racing, project motorsport racing or something, and the previous creators of project cars. I think all we can do is wait and see what that title has to offer when it arrives. I can remember looking very expectantly as Project Cars 3 was arriving, and gradually there just became more and more letdowns, more and more disappointment as the game got close to release. I think it's going to need to go a long way to beat Le Mans Ultimate.
Gap 2, Gonzalez. Ahead is now 1.6.
Don't get me wrong, the force feedback within Le Mans Ultimate does need a little bit of looking at.
Know what you need to do here. Let's stay focused.
Just to give you a little bit more information as to what's going on with regards to grip. Something I noticed just when I'm sat in the pits or at the start of the race, the wheel just seems to bounce back and forward. Not particularly violently, but it just feels like it needs a few subtle changes to the force feedback, just in menus and such, to stop the wheel having any feedback going to it when you're sat waiting. I've had a number of crashes within the game since the last update. I know in any practice session that I take part in, I can never actually sit and wait for the timer to run out or the game just crashes. I literally jump out of every practice session before it finishes, or else I'll be sending an error report. And I did spend a bit of time the other day. I think there was one section within this video where I've actually managed to run my own livery. I have started tinkering with liveries since subscribing to the Race Pro subscription. I think that's 40, well, it's advertised at £48 for the year. But it doesn't actually show you that once you go through to pay for it, there is also plus VAT, which takes it to about $57. Which was a little bit of a cheeky one, I thought. I know I've watched one of Dave Cam's videos, which seemed to get a lot of hostility around the price structure of Le Mans Ultimate. I think if I'd known the price structure initially, I probably wouldn't have bought all the DLC offhand and maybe gone for the Pro Plus package. So I think we are gradually chipping away at Pepe Gonzalez.
Gap 2, Gonzalez. Ahead's now 0.9.
0.9 seconds. So yeah, definitely under braking. Oh, a little bit twitchy on the rear. These are the things I don't think you would get that twitchiness if you were running a.a.a. So it does seem to pull away from me there, but I did have a little power slide, didn't I?
2 minutes left.
And I have spent ages and ages going through the visual settings to try and get this looking better under capture. I'm not sure whether I'm going to actually need to get a capture card, because trying to capture it, obviously I'm running Race Labs, I'm running the game in 1440p, 120 frames just so it captures without any frame stuttering when it goes through the editing package at 60 FPS.
Looks like Johnston, Juan, and Sergey have gotten together. Green flag.
I imagine once the VR headset comes along, I'll be lucky to be hitting 120 FPS. But yeah, running Race Labs overlays. I've got Coach Dave's Delta in the background. I've got Crew Chief running. I've got OBS capturing and running the game. There's probably other software like Leon Lee's Connect all running. Oh, there we go then. There's P3 driver just locking up under the rears. Adrian taking a big off. So I've just got Pepe, who's been promoted then to P3.
Sector 3 is green.
And if we look down at our laps, then we've got one more lap to go. Taking a wide one through there. But no real massive track penalties here. I think you got maybe 9 minor penalties, 6 major ones. I don't think you've got very many orange penalties, but you can take a few yellow penalties.
T4.
So one more lap to go then. And you can see we've got 2 litres as we cross the line, so we put 7.5 litres of fuel in. So we can definitely get rid of a tiny bit of that with the way I'm racing. It does look like he's picked up a little bit of damage, Pepe, at the rear of the car.
He gave us a cut warning there.
Looks like we're following a diesel Ferrari with all that soot on the back of his car. And you can see the brake pedal input there, absolutely erratic. Certainly doesn't feel like that through my foot. So whether that's the accelerometer within my brake pedal or just something that's interrupting the brake feed. Have I got enough to get him on this section? No, definitely not. Just tuck in behind him. Maybe on this next set, much closer. So I'm not sure how early I need to be shifting in the Ferrari, whether it's just that one red light on the dash to get an early gear shift.
Right side.
So definitely very much alongside, a little bit nose ahead,
Clear right.
using all that circuit.
Caution out in sector 2.
So I think once we've got the lead here, I do actually fast forward the video at the next corner. Like I say, I'm just watching this back as much as you are. I don't think I'm going to ever really get on to streaming. I see a lot of people streaming these days and really don't think it's for me. So yeah, just fast forwarding things. The rest of the lap goes uninterrupted. We can see there we've got Pepe behind by just over a second. And not enough time really to catch P2 driver, as much as the guys who get ahead are definitely both setting comprehensive
That's
laps.
a podium. Great job.
With Fabrizio there
Copy
taking
that.
a nice
Stop request.
3:54, faster than any lap I've produced. Definitely going to struggle to have beaten Fabrizio there. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. I'm not sure when the next one's going to be coming along, obviously with the surgery happening. Hopefully everything goes well, and hopefully I'll be back sim racing soon. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, ciao for now.